Hi Virgo. All right, welcome to this place. If you're returning or if we haven't seen each other in a while, if you're new here, welcome. Welcome to OPAL ORACLE. So, Virgo, this is your 2023 yearly reading. Excuse me. Hold on. So we will go month to month, and I will timestamp them so that you can reference later on throughout the year, if you so do desire. It's a little extra effort on my end to make that happen, but also find that little bit of extra, prior is going to help it to be easier to access, things later. That just seems to make sense, right? So we will go over, I chose a card for an overall energy. I have a little bit of messages that came through your prayer and prior to your reading. And then we have a challenge card. And then again, we'll go month to month, okay? Let's talk about some of the energy that came in during your prayer. I really wanted to do something, or I had the energy. I was like, yeah, I want to do that, but there were still like other things going on, and so what happened was I decided to kind of set up put a little bit of work into laying things out. And then I worked a little bit more on the thing that I was wanting to complete. That was the initial goal. And actually, goals actualized is one of your double word phrases this year. And what's cool is I did a little bit more. Like, I sort of thought I was done with something, but I decided to go more into it. Like, not done indefinitely, but like, again, the task was achieved. And I could have set that aside, but decided, well, this is important. I already said this, and I want to do that, so let me set up for what I want to do and finish what I need to do, or at least what I set out to do, right? And then, of course, the cool thing is both of these can be combined. It's about timing. And your opposite energy, Pisces, had a really beautiful reading. You also are going to have a gift, wherever Pisces was in your map, and how you worked with that energy, Pisces. And this is a lot to do with you too, because it kind of, Jupiter, I feel like, mirrors things, right? It's not like kind of what it seems sometimes. So if throughout the year you're wondering about timing, or if you're wondering on, just remember, you can always tap into that other energy. It's like another power that's really close to you, okay? And helpful. You also have the words strong heart, which I really like that for you. I'm seeing the words brave heart. So this is you. I also sense this as people where the bond of love is strong. Right, where the heart connection is strong. It's not something that's weak. It's strong, right? I would also say maybe some heart health would be good. Nothing wrong with that, which would basically be a little bit of cardio would be helpful, because heart is a strong muscle, right? It's kind of where we say like our soul lives, like this kind of centered energy. So just opening and closing that. I also saw like a white elephant that turned into a white buffalo or bison, and then went back into a white elephant. So I feel like both of these, the Lakota use the white, they talk about the white bison, right? The white, the lady who comes as the white buffalo, or have you. And if we take elephant as Ganesha, because both these stories speak of finding peace and having faith and overcoming obstacles, knowing that whenever you are challenged with something, that you have help Okay. I see the words tangibly, intangibly. Okay. And then I saw tidy places. I saw very particular, you know, you are so particular, and that's a part of who you are. You know, some people, for instance, might, if they were to watch your process, ultimately, maybe they wouldn't understand, but there's, the reason why I mentioned Pisces too is they talked a lot about this timing energy, right? And being really in line with their own timeline, which of course is you too. Okay. So there's that. I want to take just maybe 15 seconds. Just a minute. Hold on. Okay. All right, let's look at your overall energy. Awesome. 9 of Pentacles. To me, this is a Virgo card too. Beautiful, Virgo. So who is this person? What is this person like? If I was to describe this friend of mine, they're very well put together. Aware of who they are in the world, but aren't so separated from it. It's a person that's very independent. It's a person that's very educated, quite educated, very patient, very, very patient. They set out goals. They actualize that goal, right? She said to her, this person said to themselves, I want to connect with Hawk, right? I want to be able to communicate with this other. I want to connect with this. I want to communicate with this. I want to work with this. And now it does. It's like, so you must have, well, this is supposed to be your overall energy. So, but you see, you've gained this information. So now I guess it's like kind of, what would you like to do with it? This is also a person that's finally come to understand what it means to give and take. You know what I mean? How energy works, how money works, how nature works. It's a lot. It's almost like, I've never seen this before, but it's almost looking like it's like an earthly high priestess. Interesting. Very patient. This is, to me, is also a card of success. Goals actualized. I see that. She has a strong heart too. But I guess there's always a little shyness or a little reservedness when it comes to 9 of Pentacles, because she's, technically she could be seen as like a single person. But really what it is a person, again, that's cool with themselves. They're not like longing or pining for anything. They're contented with where they are. But I guess we talked about this a couple months ago about breaking out of your comfort zone, right? So remember with Jupiter this next year through, or at least the first 5 months through Aries, that a lot of that has to do with you connecting with other people. So please be open with that. You're strong enough to do that now. You're not going to have anybody drain your energy or not be able to deal with it. It doesn't matter what it is, right? It's like, you're good. You're good. And I saw the words graduated, and then someone being like, wow, what am I going to do with this now? You know, because there's this opportunity. Let's see what your challenge is. So your challenge is temperance. You're the first one, I think, that has a major in the challenge position. So there's an angel on this card, right? What is temperance about? Well, I guess it could be about trying new things. But I feel like this isn't that big of a challenge. It's more of stepping into something new, or just like get your toes wet. Do you know what I mean? You're allowed to try it out. You're also allowed to shine, you know? Hold on a second. Well, I guess you could be a little bit distracted, but oh, look at this. King of Wands was on the bottom. I just split the deck to the Queen of Wands. So maybe some of you, Empress, Emperor, Page of Wands. What's going on? I gotta move some energy around. Hold on a second. Why is this such a big... It's not even the thing... Okay, let me try to describe how I'm feeling. The only place of frustration that's coming from inside of my body is like overly trying to analyze like what this is when there's not anything wrong with it. I suppose in addition to that, this card could also represent ways of challenges. You have to... This is balance, right? This is a square to you. Sagittarius energy, right? Actually, to me, sometimes Temperance is Virgo, so I guess you could be your own worst challenge. I guess this could also be challenging yourself a little bit to try, again, do a little bit more, or to put something, again, get your toes wet about something. And how do you feel about love? Not just love of God and like the spiritual, but again, it's like, look at her looking over. It's like, you don't have to be afraid anymore. Okay? And I guess if your faith is ever tested, or you don't feel confident, or again, what this Nine of Pentacles represents, because you're really doing better than you think that you are sometimes, okay? That's what it is you could get into your head. So maybe there's something, because the way that I'm trying to like look at this also and to see what it means is every time I stare at this, it almost causes me to feel silent and calm. If I stop trying to figure out what it is, ultimately, I'm just like connecting with it. Right, so maybe something that you could stare at could help you this year to, as a meditation practice, to quiet your mind, you know? Maybe it's like shortening the span between uncomfortability in certain situations, especially in public, or like in the space of life. Virgo. Okay. I heard no lonely drinking, or like no lonely. That's all I keep saying. Okay. Hold on. Virgo. February. January? Why we skipped ahead? January. Pisces, because it really starts. So your new year starts. Well, it started in December, right? But it started 3 years ago. Oh, Pisces reading will be very helpful. I see. So let's look at this. Hangman. Well, there's a major. So in January, I guess here's the same kind of light on the head, right? As this supposed challenge, although I feel like you don't really have a challenge beyond maybe patience. It's very easy to stop an annoyance by just pausing for a second. This could be a time, I suppose, where you're also trying to see something from a different way, or it could be beneficial. You really want to think about what you want, Virgo. Not only for yourself, but for yourself, and say spiritually, financially. What do you want in the physical world? What do you want in the spiritual world for yourself? That would make you, I guess, feel secure, even though you already got this in spades here. And then also because the Emperor, Empress, and this child spirit came out. This is also, I guess, for your family. Could be inner child work for some of you, or just like healing. Yeah, maybe. Holy. You have the Ace of Pentacles underneath this. But really, I want you to... This is also partnership. Emperor, Empress is the perfect combination. They are exactly what they're supposed to be. In the fullest capacity that they knew how in this moment, right? And there's been a lot of energy prior to get to this place. Well, I see, don't worry, you have an angel like behind you. Like in front of you, behind you. Like there's something guiding you, and there's in front of you, and there's something protecting you at your back. Okay? They probably flank each side too. You kind of have like... I feel like these are more... I can't quite see these two, but there's this and this. Okay? So really think about what you want. Maybe it's even like understanding the concept of like, what do you believe about... Okay, so to want something would mean that you end up having it, right? Usually whatever we want, we get. Because God already knows like what we need, right? And it kind of like blends together, and then we get these experiences. Virgo. You're ready for the next step. Okay, but I guess Hangman in general in January, you want to be patient. You want to, again, try to see things from another perspective. You also want to trust, again, that there is something guiding you, and there's something at your back protecting you. I suppose this could be a very, like, it could be a little bit internal. It reminds me of the Jupiter and Aries reading, where it's like, okay, this, especially the first 5 months, but really I suppose it could be a life lesson. It's like when something happens, whatever's going on, just say to yourself, like, how can I look at this positively? You know what I mean? Whatever it may be. How can I look at this differently? Even if it's something that you agree with, like, or something you generally define in a certain way. It's like, well, how could you use different language about it? Or, because you're putting different feeling into what you think you deserve. And this here is about the physical world, right? You know, all of us have been doing a lot of, collectively, a lot of healing, spiritual healing. Not that I believe that process is ever over. There's no ending it. you still got to clean your cup even when it's full, right? You use your cup, you got to clean it. And I forgot to mention that these readings are going to be longer, I hope you don't mind. I'm just flowing with it. It's the Chariot. We had this old reading, and we talked about, I was like, okay, if there's dishes, whole sink full of dishes, well, it's like, okay, well, pick up the sponge, pick up the soap, put a little water, pick up one dish, and do that. Then pick up the next dish. So maybe that's a way you could also go about January a little bit, so that you can keep yourself steady. And I want you to really feel into what you want. It reminds me of your old reading, Holy Determination. I'll link that. Right, because you're not 1 inch tall. Let's see February. Is that right? Oh, that one did flip like that. Oh, okay. Death in the reverse. So this is 12, this is 13, right? So in January, something probably stays until March. There's something that has to be, I guess this is really thinking about, so you're not done with something. I mean, I guess death in the reverse, sometimes some explain it like well, am I trying to go with what someone else thinks, or am I trying to do what I think? Or what I see about it? Well, let's look at it both perspectives. The one person's perspective is that this means that someone's ignoring change. I suppose the way I view it is that something is coming to free you. Something is like, this is about, okay, when something's ready, then it's ready, right? Rice takes 20 minutes to cook, averagely. 20 minutes at least. You have to. There are some things that you just have to, it has to be a certain time, right? Right, the older the berry, the sweeter the juice. It's, maybe some of you have a hang up about that, about your age or your body, or judging yourself. Like, please don't compare yourself to the pretend world of, like, most of what social media is. Okay, this includes anything on the box. Interesting, right? Because it's all kind of fake anyway. All the love stories, it's we can feel like it's a fairy tale, but is it? If we want to, I suppose, but nothing is perfect. Even when you stay in your own little bubble, it's not technically perfect because you're not either. But it's easier when you're all alone, right? It's easier when you try to avoid the interaction, but you want to, I guess you have to believe in yourself. Believe in what you're building. Okay, that's kind of what it is. Maybe this is also just using language in a different way. Like, say something feels not necessarily the way that you want, then maybe, like, talk about it differently. You know what I mean? Put different language about it, or like around it. different feeling around it, right? Good love and energy about this. You know, like I heard, I'm ready to get down from this tree. Right, because really no one changes. Death could show up 100 times for somebody in the tower. That doesn't mean a person's going to change who they are. It's up to the individual to decide that they're ready to change something, really. I mean, spirit could be knocking on the door like, hey, come on. But like, we can still walk right back into that scenario if we want to. You know, people have that option. So I guess that this is also understanding something about that. Interesting. There's another major. Huh. You know, that one, the way it came out too, and I was shuffling, it popped out and was like, poof, and it was really smooth the way that it did it. So, because I guess Spirit wants you to, Spirit wants you to believe in your soul. That wants to, you're ready for something. But it's almost like you don't feel like you are. And this has to do with, like, not just you, but, like, you in relation to other people. Okay. All right, Queen of Swords, we said enough about that. Let's keep going. We'll do 2640. March. Seven of Pentacles. There's more Earth. Okay, he's looking down at August. He's looking to August. Are you happy with what you have? It's important to be, well, it's important to be happy, a person to be happy with what they have. I want to like ring the bell. All right, let's go back to your keywords. Strong heart, goals actualized, tidy places. So maybe something needs to be cleaned up in March a little bit. This is also your opposite season. Okay, I'm remembering another reading of yours. Very interesting. We're going back like this, but this is good. That means you're remembering. This means that you're actually starting to put the information into, again, this earthly realm. It isn't just subconscious anymore, right? Or unconscious. Hold on. This other reading spoke about how you always feel like you always have enough, right? But you also don't feel worthy of having sometimes. Why? Five of Swords. Virgo. Some of you aren't somebody doesn't believe in themselves like as a partner or like as a, or maybe they're not, someone's not trusting other people. Or again, they don't believe in themselves some way, somehow. I keep pulling this Knight of Cups in reverse. Well, this is your opposite birthday. Sometimes I find that to be hard. What's August? Keep seeing this card, Justice. So it does have to do with other people. It has to do with your oh, it's kind of hard to tap in your energy right now. Why? What's the matter? Oh, it's Pisces time. Of course, it's hard. Well, here. Please believe in yourself. You kind of, you know what it is? It's this hangman at the beginning of the year. Let's see about that, because that's affecting the rest of it. 10 of Pentacles. Some of you are worried about your job and you don't need to be. Some of you are like, feel... What do you feel like your purpose is? You're good. You're solid. Again, 9 of Pentacles. Maybe that's a part of it, is like some of you are at 9 and you don't think that you're like, well, am I ready to go to the next step? Am I ready to go to the next step? 10 of Pentacles. It's right here. But I guess it's about what you believe that you're allowed to have. And maybe some of you are like single forever and you're just like, I don't know if I trust people, or I don't know if I want to do that. Or if you're involved, it's like, you don't, I don't know. However, you're involved with other people, you're questioning whether you're good enough or not. Like 2 of Pentacles. But you're, Virgo, you're so good. Life, it's just, it's all creative. We're just making it up as we go along anyway. Remember, 9 of Pentacles is prepared. They have already thought ahead. There's like, again, like great awareness and intelligence. You don't have to question that so much. Okay? Maybe you don't have as much of a, I mean, this person is on solid ground. And they're looking at what they have created. And they've created a lot. Maybe there just needs to be rearrangement with something. Or again, to be like, well, it's either like this is good enough, but I wouldn't scrap the whole thing, whatever that means. Maybe some relationship counseling would be really good. Could be family counseling. I don't know. It could be untying some family, like karma stuff too. Okay, interesting. You have a lot of Earth on the board. Let's look at April. The Lovers. Well, looky there. Looky there. April, the Lovers. Another major. Wow. There's another angel. So finally, this is in the present moment, because it's like January was present. February was kind of like... This cat is driving me crazy. Hold on. Zumi's all the way under the couch trying to mess with that cat. It's really cute. Zumi's just like a big cat, you know. Panther, easy Zumi. Alright, Lovers, what is Lovers about? Lovers is about making decisions. Lovers is about tapping. There's no shame. There's no guilt. Whatever was going on with relationships with other people or connection or things like that, like, easy Zumi. It's all good now. It's all good now. Maybe someone needed physical attention too, some way, somehow. You know, sometimes the 9 of Pentacles is like where a person isn't touched a lot. Like they touch animals, they touch plants, they can touch themselves, but they don't really. There's not a lot of physical, like emotional connection or physicality with other people. But now, again, I guess there's an openness there. I could also see there could be a really good discussion about something like where people are at, and it's an open conversation. You know? Yeah, definitely. Could even be like a business contract for some of you. See how the energy just totally shifted once we came back into this. Oh, we didn't do the thing where we just honed in on, remember when we were talking about temperance and it was like, we were just staring at it, just like the Seven of Pentacles, like staring at it, like trying to figure it out when nothing really is wrong. You have 7 Pentacles. You have 7 Pentacles. That's so many. That's 70% of something. That's great. So remember the thing of don't. I guess there'll be times where you could pick things apart, and really it could be picking apart others, but I really think it's like you picking yourself apart in some kind of way. And maybe that's something that's changing in this Chariot year. Right? Look at this 6 of Wands and the Ace of Cups. You know, that's a wonderful quincunx to work through. To love yourself. Holy moly, yeah. That's it. And to feel deserving in this world, because, I mean, goodness, all you do is, you do so much. This is beautiful for springtime energy, at least where I am. It'll be spring in April. So to be this open, this, again, like it's not even like fearlessness exactly, because it's not even about putting that word in it. It's just about comfortability, I guess. And there's an openness. I see a really good line to spirit right here too. I see people are listening to you. I feel like there's a resolve for something also. But I guess people have to share what they're wanting. Again, like just aware of, and I see how to, because 9 of Pentacles goes back into being able to fulfill it in oneself. Now it's kind of like, oh, I guess some of you could be challenged by feeling like your independence. Something about your independence, but you have it. Yeah, Ace of Cups and the 6 of Pentacles again. You have it. Okay. Interesting. Oh, so in January, actually, one of the things you're supposed to think differently about is relationships also. Like in general. Okay. I feel like this is lining up with that Jupiter energy. I'm remembering all these other timelines, but now it's like your heart and your head are combining. Good. Let's see May. When Jupiter moves, May. High Priestess. Another major. Holy moly. Oh my gosh, I get it. Maybe that's what you'll say to yourself. Maybe that's what will happen. I also see that, remember back in January, part of the reason that this was here is because you needed to divide by 2 so that you could make it back down into the 6, make it down into this space instead of, because you know what, I feel like with the majors we have to go through it. It's like a spiral path, right? We like go along, we start at 0 and then we go along Or maybe we start at the world and go the other way. It depends which way we want to look at it, right? It all, whichever way we want to look at it. Whichever way we want to look at it. All your majors are they're all dual. Gemini, Sagittarius, Pisces. All the mutable energy is here. All the other parts of you are here. And so something is becoming more strong or more solid, has become solid, not immovable. Just it's solid now. It's something tangible. Again, it's something that's real. All this earth energy here. So you weren't actually supposed to change anything, because some of you perhaps could have like wanted to give up about something, and you're not supposed to give up. What you're supposed to do is because what you're doing is, again, you're working your way back down. You're going down the mountain. Haven't we talked about this? I'll be right back. Didn't we have a reading like that too? Coming down the mountain. Coming down the mountain when she comes down, down. You're supposed to be down with the people, Virgo. Not hiding up away no. You can still do that. You can still, if you want to go live up on the hill, you can. But like every day, or at least a couple times a week, you got to come down the mountain, right? Interesting. Okay. Because it could also be one of those things where some of you are like, I'm not going to do this unless I get confirmation that this is the thing I'm supposed to do. But it's like, no, Nine of Pentacles, you got to take that initiative and action for yourself. You know, everyone in the situation is handling it independently. And that's really what makes it work together, right? But you got to stand on the same ground. You got to face it with heart, right? Strong heart. There's going to be strong heart in it. And I guess in March, you could have, the heart could feel a little weak, right? Meaning like a person doesn't feel that confident about themselves, but it's, because I heard, okay, God, okay, I heard I'll try, right? Maybe it is just doing a little bit more, which was kind of one of your words, but I couldn't figure out how to word the words that came. But it was just like, you know, just doing a little bit more. Not so much that you burn yourself out, temperance being the challenge. It's like, can't you just... And maybe this is a bit of a test where, again, it's not like the spiritual path... Easy, baby. It's not like the spiritual, whatever lessons and experience and life that you want to live is, you be nice. I know she ain't the sweetest piece of peach pie, but be nice. You're like moving into your seventh, it's about your seventh house. Which is what? Other people. And interacting with them. You know? In a creative way. Maybe this is also some of you believing in your talents also. Believing in where you're at. Because, like we were saying with the spiritual part of it. Hypersis. It's just like, okay, well, how are you going to take... Say this was all the spiritual lesson or healing that you'll ever do, which is obviously untrue. But like expansion and self, whatever. You're an infinite being. But say it was all that you have is what you have. It's kind of like this year is a bit of working that into the world with other people. And seeing how that plays out. Test it. Test it out. Again, I see get out of your comfort zone. You know what I mean? I heard Frankie says so. Let's see June. There's another 7 of Cups in June. Hold on. All right. How do I see this card? June. Another 7. One of these things is not like the other one. One of these things is not the same. And that one is something that you don't know what it is until you pick it. What happens if you pick that one? Let's see. It's not just the one that catches your eye. It's you look at everything that's there. Magician. You look at all the parts. So I guess that's the magical one, because that's the one that you can see a part of it, but you can't see the whole thing. You have to trust in picking this one. You have to trust that you're making the right decision. Empress, 2 of Wands, 4 of Swords, 4 of Wands. Maybe for some of you this has to do with home. Again, this is also well, because you never know if you don't try, right? And of course, you know what the thing is, I think that stops people from trying sometimes? Like fully investing is because of failure before. Queen of Swords, perhaps. But again, it reminds me of the Patreon reading we did called There's More to This Mountain. Yeah. There's more to this mountain. Because you have to overcome, like, it's like everything else around it, if you really get into it, is just what everybody else tells you, like what other people think, I don't know, success is, or wealth is, or fear is, or beauty is, or magic is, or whatever it is. It's just like, well, what do you think it is? Because I guess it's, so there's something about overcoming your own fear or shadow in yourself. And it has to do with mental. Because you're choosing here. How do I explain that? Well, what's the emotional decision? What's the rational decision? Because you know what I'm seeing is that it's as if this shadow person picks the one that I see, and then you become what you chose. Like you fully embody your choice. The choice is embodied. Again, I guess this is goals actualized, or at very least, this could very well be where, again, you think about what you've been wanting, really, not only with yourself, because I am the first house, always mirrors back to other people. Everything that we want, everything that we do, even if you live all alone on the top of a mountain and you were literally a monk, it's like we still have all these other people in our life. Landlords, the person that answers the phone when we go to pay the bill, whoever works at the gas station. Like, there's all these other people. How do you think most people get their food? Is because other people bring it, grow it, bring it, whatever. We're all connected no matter what. So I see, remember your independent choice in the situation, and I want you to feel confident about that. Maybe, again, for some of you, this is about finally figuring out something stronger, this double Gemini energy, too. Figuring out, this is, I guess this is an expression of strong heart here. Choosing with a courageous heart and a clear mind. Because one of these things is not like the other one. One of these things is not the same. Easy killer. Because you already know, like, what's untrue. You're smart. I heard you know what to do. And since it's about trying something new, I guess it could be one of those things where it's just like maybe you pick something that you don't usually pick. Even though it's the most obvious, but it's like you haven't picked it for a while or something like that. Maybe. All right, let's move along. Let's see July. King of Cups. Awesome. So whatever that emotional, if there was any emotional, I don't knows, again, you hold it and now you are so confident. And you know what's very interesting is, although I usually see King of Cups as Scorpio, this little fishy is emphasizing a Piscean energy with the ocean. This is January, and here's July. Here's Capricorn, here's Cancer. Okay? So whatever it was, in January, I see you suss that out. Strong heart by July. Like fully. It goes back into embodying something. That thing that you were trying to figure out. Like because you're going to be able to see things, put things together that you didn't put together before. It's like all of a sudden it just makes sense. It just makes sense. This could also be someone that you really love finally untangles themselves from something too, which is really beautiful. I'm seeing the words like soul. It's like a soul string being cut, but it's something that was holding you back. It reminds me of the Pisces reading for November, maybe, about the buoys, right? It's just like, okay, you find the string to detangle, and then you don't. Because it's not only helping you, it's also helping other people. King of Cups. King of Cups looks right over to August. Well, King of Cups is comfortable. They're looking towards the future. They feel very settled and confident in themselves. They know who they are. To me, King of Cups is also kind of a wealthy person. Like they've worked hard to be able to sit this comfortably. Okay. They don't mind if other people like do or don't like them. They're just like, it doesn't matter. Nope. It doesn't affect their mind, which therefore doesn't affect their emotions, because they've already made peace with themselves. Do you know what I mean? Interesting. Let's see, July. I like that your water here, that Seven of Cups turned into the King. Like you feel confident, you really feel confident about your choice. You feel good about it. Someone feels ready for something again now. And whatever was going on in April also, there's something which I guess could connect back to December, January. That is also solidified. It's like you're finally, because you feel ready for, because it can't just be like, it's this earth and then air and then water. And then that is what creates the solid of it. Huh. Well, I guess July's pretty comfortable. And again, there's a future focus that's really beautiful. I do see some really wonderful, wonderful. This is also in some ways goals actualized. This could be a financial goal. It could be a contractual thing. It could be an emotional thing. It's pretty. Oh, we're doing that again where we're trying to figure it out, even though, again, it's like I'm not trying to find the thing that's wrong with it, but it's like kind of like picking at it. So let's just focus on that card again. All right, everything will be okay. Everything's okay. I see be the bamboo, bend and sway, right? Because there's a fluidity here that's really important too. Okay, let's look at August. We have Justice, another major. Just a second. Okay, wow. So this mirrors up into that death in reverse. Okay, into February. So oh yeah, Spirit wasn't going to allow something to go a certain way until someone was ready. They had to feel ready. Like feel, they had to embody something. Again, it's almost like taking this, and Virgo, I know only for you, we're going to have these, not only for you, but Virgo always has these kind of conversations. It's like, we're doing it again. Let's stare at the card. Let's focus for a second. Well, I heard, is the mind clear? Yes. Justice upright is always good to me. It's fairness. King of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles, another scale on it. So, but we have double Venusian energy. Now, Venus is in retrograde during this month, so they say. I don't see this being a problem for you particularly. You're also surrounded by Taurus and Scorpio. Can you see that? Like on either side of you is Taurus and Scorpio energy. This is like two kings. So the karma or the judgment, the decision, if you will, it's I see it's lucrative. It is stable and solid. I wouldn't make any major decisions or what have you in major decisions in relation to relationships. especially like old ones, right? But ones that have already like passed out in a way, right? Whatever that means. It's like because old things from the past can creep up when Venus is in retrograde. Remember that which you've already blocked, and yes, anything that you've blocked or you've really thought long and hard about, especially that which has caused, like when you were younger and not as smart, it's like actions or whatever, you're really clear about it and made some kind of boundary, which and there's no, that truth is real. Okay, so interesting. Okay. I guess if you've also been waiting on something to go through, I suppose Venus in retrograde could be money for you coming back, like coming to you, Virgo, too. And it goes back into that tangible world, because I guess for some of you, again, it's like the spiritual, we've talked about this before, like there's another reading of yours, like we talked about the pool. It was like the spiritual, intellectual, the air, fire, if you will, is really deep with you. But the water, earth, is kind of a shallow, it's a little bit more shallower of a place. There's less energy. And what you're trying to do is, like, if the pool went like diagonally, the shallow end to the deep end, it's like you're trying to balance, Libra, you're trying to balance all of these elements, right? And I guess with water and earth on either side of you now, I guess there's more, I guess the pool has balanced out. There's more space to create. Okay. And that goes back into the into June where you made that decision. Huh. Okay. Let's see September. Your birthday time, Sons of Virgo. Oh yeah, King of Swords. You got it. Look at this. August and then September. Really powerful. So clear. There's another king. King of Cups, King of Pentacles, King of Swords. So if we take this just as you, and because really all these readings are as your reading. It's never about, switch the energies around, relate it to whoever, cross-watch. It's like, it's just our perspective, right? But really, it's just you. It's never, it's always just us. It's never... Like Pisces said, we're just different. We're just the characters in this play of life, right? We're just playing with ourselves. So, anyway, if we take the kings as you, what does this represent? Kings represent the element, the creativity of that element in the physical world. It's the physical manifestation. It's not just the internalization of it, the inner knowing. It is now that expressed on the outside. And I've been feeling this for a while, that it seems to be that, again, not like the process ever over of healing or growing or spirituality or whatever, all of this extra ethereal unexplainableness of this miraculous life. But now we're sort of in a stage where it's, instead of just getting to know yourself so well, for those of you who have, the next step would be, we've really taken the time and energy, the next step would be, is to, again, get to know the world, right? Get to know you with other people. Right? Really invest in that. not to feel responsible for the world, but your world, meaning where you are and where you go, that world, and what you interact with, right? And then for those of you who are at the stage where you're starting to really get to know yourself and feel comfortable with yourself, then that would be reinforcing that, continuing to build upon that, because then you'll be here later, which again, because the queens would be the internal expression of it, right? Again, that internal, and now it's the goals actualized, which means there's a physicality to it. And this is emotional expression in a really the highest caliber. It is a physical expression in the highest caliber. It's deep. This is also great, like abundance, really. Like, again, what do you believe that you deserve? Like, whether this is in love or money or what have you, like what you want for relationships, friendship, like your spouse, whatever, your children. And now the King of Swords is like, okay, because you have to feel it out. Then that turns, you have to feel good about it. Once you do, the physical world is no longer like a question. Do you know what I mean? Or like what you can do or what you can have. And because then you have it and you feel good about having that. And then from there, it's just like, then I heard clear as a whistle. Like you can clearly have the conversation. And maybe it takes you that long to really figure out what it is that you do want. During this time, Jupiter's also in Taurus in retrograde, right? So it's kind of like, again, going back into the idea of what you want in this physical world. What you want to have. What do you want to have? What do you want to hold on to? Not grip it, not in a way of fear. Because of fear, it's like, I don't know, have to feel secure, or what do you need to feel secure? What do you need to learn about something? Like, because I really feel like it's just, again, just trying something new, maybe for some of you it is traveling, or maybe some of you it's moving home, or maybe some of you it's dating, or maybe some of you it's like a new level of how you, again, just interact with other people, like how do relationships work? And I guess that's a part of what you're needing, or a part of what it would be good for you to have in this life. Okay. Because once you decide what you want, which is very clear, this King of Swords makes clear decisions. They're so intelligent. There's no question anymore about the value of something. Okay? Then we get in October. Let's see, October. 8 of Pentacles, more. So look. So your overall energy, 9, right? In March and Pisces season, which makes sense. It's very emotional. You start to question. I would also say, no, I wouldn't spend any money in March. I wouldn't choose anything like financially in March, because it could be an illusion. Right? And then we move ahead. Again, because you become clear, somebody becomes clear in, I don't know who they are, or what they're wanting, or finally can say something, decide something. This also confirms that, again, the decision in June. But then we gain that, you gain a pentacle, end up at the 8, which goes to show that you didn't give up. Good. Don't give up. If you are dating someone, or you have a spouse, or you are, again, wanting whatever your connections with other people, this could be one of those times where you have a lot of work to do, or you're really focused. So just make sure you're also communicating with other people about what your timeline is. And I would also just make some time perhaps for other people. That's a nice thing. Again, the physical part, it's important, because your energy is really beautiful. Yes, it is. It's so loving. And you being in the world, again, just with the common folk coming down off, you know, finally, it's where you're supposed to be. Okay. Very focused month. Definitely holy determination, right here. You're like, okay, here's your goals actualized also. This is your heart being stronger. I would also say your heart is strong. July, August, September also. But September, October are, yes. I think your heart's strong because you settle your mind about, like, where you're going. You settle yourself more about the path, maybe, or like, again, this is sort of breaking out of comfort zone. Remember, 2023 is the Chariot year, so I'm glad that showed up in your reading. And this is more emphasis of Venus energy, which is really beautiful. So yeah, very focused. If any of you had counseling, that's also very helpful. How is it that you could work on your relationships? Could be helpful too. Like, pay attention to how much time you're allocating to this, that, and the third. I feel like you know, what do you feel like doing, and what is it that someone else needs, maybe? You know what I mean? Not that you're not always of service. I know you are, but I guess this is like, what do you feel like doing? What does someone else need? Maybe that's a part of it, is sometimes you're just allowed to say to yourself, well, I feel like doing this, when you know you need that to go into your little zone so that when you come back out to other people, you feel good, right? You're an introverted sign. You need to go in to regain your energy and go off by yourself and create, right? However that is, to feel good about where you are, again, when it comes to other people, right? But don't go so far there, again, that you jump in, and I see, please look to Pisces reading. Okay, November. 9 of Wands. Okay. So some of you might have worked so hard in October that you feel burnt out in November. So since we're looking at this in a future focused way, again, pay attention, October especially, of what you are, because it's almost like you get the green light. And so you go wicked hard into something. But you got to make sure to allocate your time in the right way, because again, I don't want you to be too burnt out, or if you are burnt out, then you have to remember to go within and rest, right? Rest yourself. Remember when I feel like we talked about this in December, where it's kind of like creating I see your level of creation is so beautiful. So again, to replenish energy, you have to go within. The High Priestess mirrors this up in May. Okay? I would also say, if you're not feeling so hot about something, or you're kind of burnt, again, you feel a little burnt out with something, or you feel something doesn't feel as fluid as it did before, well, that means that you have to go within and rest, right? This is definitely an internal time, just like May's again, that Taurus Scorpio energy, I guess, is also balancing in your map too. This is again an emphasis of what you are desiring to have in your life, emotionally, in the physical world, and what you want to interact with. People, places, things, what have you. I guess we've said what we need to say there. Let's look at December. Excuse me. Let's look at December to close this out. December. Two of Swords, which is so trippy. Pisces had this in January. So Two of Swords. Okay, remember how you had to make the choice up top, June? It was like water and air. This is also water and air. Okay? Water and air. I feel like the need to go over this again. January is, it's all about believing, you being able to believe in what you can build, what you have built. What you have built, what you can build, what you are building. And you want to think about what you want to build, that which you have not. Or what you want to build upon. Okay, that which is already has pieces in it. In February, there's no need to push because, again, it's like you're learning this Jupiter lesson really in an interesting way. Jupiter actually represents our happiness. Okay? And it takes from January until August. I guess that's when you really figure something out. Then from there, you're clear as a whistle, and again, you get the green light, you go. It feels right. But I suppose success could also be something that some of you, I don't know, what is that to you? Then we have December, Two of Swords. What is this card about? This card is about balance. It has a crescent moon on it. It's daytime. It's like the moon out during the day. This card to me is about being in your body. Okay? It's making decisions that are logical, rational, and tapping into the feeling, emotional space. It's like trying to find the answers to both of these, right? Which really, I suppose, the logic, the air is the earth realm, right? Because air moves earth, right? And water puts out fire. Which actually then creates the air, I guess, which helps things grow in the earth, right? So, I guess you feel pretty steady, February. Okay, so you chose before in June, you chose out of sight, right? You chose out of feeling and you chose out of sight. You combined those two things. And I actually see that I feel like it was helpful because, again, it helped you create some sort of, you to embody something. Wow, look at this Cancerian energy that just showed up. All this feeling moon space, right? Then in December, what it is you choose by feeling purely. But it's like intuitive feeling. So if you're too stuck in your head, you will not be able to choose it mentally or like with your sight. You have to choose it feeling. You have to, it's about the feeling of it, which I guess is this heart energy, right? I guess, again, this year, the only sword that you have is, the swords that you have are Justice and the King of Swords, which means that you have I was going to say absolutely mastered, but really, you got this one in spades, okay? So this year is about earth and water for you. Earth and water. Earth and water. How you can connect emotionally with the world. Because it's reminding me of this old Pisces reading too, where it talked about like that faith, here you stay till it's time for you to go. It's like whatever it was, like how they sleep to deal with their stress. It's like it wasn't going to work for them anymore. And you, for instance, you usually figure things out purely with your mind. And that's good and fine. You obviously have been practicing that, and now you're very good at it. You're very good at it. And now this year wants you to be more in this earthly, emotional world. That's how you're supposed to pick your choices. Not purely out of those places, because only an emotional choice probably isn't the best, but you want to know what the feeling is, right? Because your mind is clear, that's actually how you can get into your feelings so that they're real, when your mind is clear, right? Interesting. Oh my goodness, I love you, Virgo. Yes, I do. I see you building in your career also, if you're working on that. Could be some new projects too. They're very interesting. Maybe some of you have some secret projects you're working on, or things that you're working on in your spare time, and that's really cool too. Please remember to give yourself time to find the positive of your interactions with the world. Okay, that's part of the spiritual test, you know. It's like you train the hawk, and then it's like, okay, you finally like let the hawk go and let it fly and see if it'll come back. And I heard, of course it will, because you know that and you know what, even if it didn't, it's like, well, you know that the effort that you put in there, that connection as you had it was good, right? There's never a loss of anything. You're just gaining. Interesting. All right, that's that. I love you so much. I hope this was helpful. Please take care. Thank you for a wonderful 2022. Hope you have the best 2023. Obviously pretty trippy. I'll talk to you soon. Peace out.